Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. Thank you, everybody that subscribed to the channel. Thank you, everybody that liked a video, shared it, or did anything because we are on 10K, people, believe it or not, on 10K. Thank you, everybody that is supporting the channel. Thank you, everybody that is watching our videos or liking our videos, making a comment underneath the video. But we're here today to talk about Liverpool Football Club. I'm not sure how to take this game. Should it be positive? But I'm just going to say that, and people won't believe me. Darwin Nunez, off the bench, played very, very, very well, actually. And I have to be honest here. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant appearance from Darwin Nunez. Believe it or not, I'm saying that. But should this be a warning for Liverpool? Or should this be an inspiring comeback at home at Anfield when they haven't been beaten for a while? I think this is what we need to know and we need to talk about. Are they going to struggle without Mohamed Salah, without Trent being out? Because it looked like that right side is dead. But we don't know. But we're here to talk about the Liverpool with the Liverpool lot. Of course, Mike is here, Rack is here, and we have a rival, Giuseppe, who left this competition and the other day was knocked out of the other one as well. I'm not sure where he is now, but the talk with Giuseppe will be, can your team compete with this team for the Premier League? Because this team is going for the Premier League. I'm going to start with Rack, actually. The question is this a warning sign without Trent or Salah, or this is a brilliant comeback? How did you view this second half?
We've seen these kind of performances quite often this season when Mo and Trent have both been there. Like, there have been performances which haven't been as good. The first game, the game we played against Fulham at home not too many weeks ago, was not great. We scored. I think Szoboszlai scored a banger, and what's his name? McAllister scored a worldie, and I think they were 3-2 up at one point, and then we came back and we won, and it all worked out. We've had some hairy results, so that part of things didn't really surprise me too much. It will look, if you're missing our main goal scorer and you're missing arguably our best creator, then it's going to be difficult. Hopefully, it's not for too long. We've only got a couple of games potentially, depending on how far Egypt go, that we may be missing Mo, and I hope that he comes back quickly. I hope Trent comes back quickly, and I hope we don't miss him too much. Who knows whether this game is a sign of things to come or not? But I'm glad we got the win. It was Fulham made it difficult. Fulham are a good team. Like, we've seen it this season. They gave us a good game. They played well against other teams, and the tie's not over. Going to the Cottage is not going to be easy. But I hope we can get through to the final. I hope we win the cup.
Mike, you texted me halfway through the game. You said, I'm fuming.
Yeah.
So what were you fuming about, though? Even when you went 2-1 up, you were still upset. So what were you upset about?
Well, okay, so the first thing I was upset about was the 57,000 librarians that were occupying every seat in Anfield. That was the worst atmosphere I've ever seen in my entire life. And to be honest with you, as an American, if I had to pay $1,500 to cross the Atlantic Ocean to sit in that crowd, I would never come back again. I would be fuming. I just thought it was pathetic from the crowd. But listen, we won the game, right? So ultimately, we can only be so critical, right? Because then otherwise you're pushing an agenda because we won. You know what I mean? But to me, what I keep seeing is I see the same mistakes in the first half repeated over and over again. But the kicker is that I continue to see the same exact adjustments being made to help us win the game. So it's like, where am I logically allowed to be mad? And then where do I have to say, well, okay, football is football? You know what I mean? Like, if we're making the same mistakes and the same adjustments, why can't we just make those adjustments before we make the mistakes? So yes, I was livid. It was really more at the crowd per se, and the fans for just this dead environment. But things changed. Klopp made the right adjustments. And, the tune has to be a little bit different because we won. Otherwise, you're an agenda merchant and, your opinion is therefore invalid. You know what I mean? But
Hold on.
hold on. Either way, we won this game for one reason and one reason alone, and that's Darwin Nunez. It's just that simple. It's just that simple because everyone wants to make it out like Darwin is this he's this poor striker. He's not a striker because right now he's proving himself to be more of a left winger, if anything. Let's take a look at the Arsenal game on Sunday. What was the adjustment that was made? Darwin was playing down the middle. Klopp says, Darwin, you're going on the left wing. Diaz, you're going on the right wing. Elliot, you're dropping back into midfield. Gakpo, you're going in the
Hold
middle.
on. Can you show us the jersey?
No, it's Darwin.
Oh my God, you're wearing.
I'm wearing it backwards so that everyone can see it. Because if I was wearing it forward, then you would only see the patch, and then I'd have to turn around, and that's just a lot. I'm gonna have to turn this around. It's very uncomfortable. But Darwin is the reason why we won this game. I wanted him to start. I wanted him on the left wing. I wanted Gakpo in the middle. Everyone's going to say, Hussam is going to say, it's one of those, but you need to bring in Gakpo off the bench, or you need to bring in Luis Diaz off the bench. BS. Absolute BS. Because I called for this beforehand. Darwin should have been on the left. Gakpo should have been in the middle. Diaz should have been on the right. What happened when Darwin came on? He started playing on the left, and Gakpo was playing as a right wing / a 9. Darwin created everything from the left side of the field. Bada bing, bada boom, we win the game. So I rest my case. Like, the man came on, he changed everything. You said it at the beginning, and he changed everything in the Arsenal game. So, you know what? Sorry, that was long and convoluted. I'm gonna have to turn this back around now because it's quite uncomfortable. But Darwin forever, baby.
Listen, in my opinion, to be honest, we got one more. But in my opinion, by the time we get Rams in, I just have to say one thing about Liverpool today. Curtis Jones looked okay. There is one problem with this Liverpool team. In the first half, it looked too slow. It looked like it was very sluggish. It looked like there was something wrong. And I'm like, why is it too slow? What is going on here? Why it takes so many touches for you to get the ball in the final third? And why is Luis Diaz going to the left and he isn't taking his man? Why is he going back? And the ball goes back to Van Dijk. And then you go to Konate. And then goes to Tom Little on the right side. Why is that happening all the time? And I'm like, what is this? Why is Liverpool not good? We are used to Liverpool playing boom, boom, boom. Get this ball up top quickly. You're not Man City. You play today like a Man City team. You're like, well, let's take our time until the ball gets to the right player. And I'm like, well, that's not great, to be honest.
Can I just quickly answer that, Mark? Appreciate you having me on the stream. I think one of the big cases, and I don't like to play the injury card because I don't believe in that kind of stuff. The one thing that Trent is so good at is turning defense to attack in a blink of an eye. That's what he's all about. His passing ability and his overall drive on the ball. He has that capability of doing that. And I think the big difference, compare it to the first half to the second half, I think Jurgen Klopp spoke to Conor Bradley and be like, stop playing it safe. Take on your man. Go and drive with the ball. And we started to see a lot more from Conor Bradley than what we did from the first half. Because every time he got the ball on the first half, he was so worried and was overthinking what he was trying to do. But second half, he's stretching the play. He's trying to get the ball. He's trying to drive with the ball, trying to get as much crosses in as much as possible. He was doing the things that we gave him so much credit and what he's got a reputation of when he was at Bolton last season. And I think that was one of the big things that he showed this game. Big up Hussam, you mug. But yeah, that's how I saw it, man.
Yeah, let me do this. Omar Rushdie is saying, if FSG don't sign anyone with all injuries, then when? Let me respond to Omar. Liverpool, Omar, you're turning into a Chelsea now. Trent is only out for 3 weeks. Mohamed Salah is coming in 2 weeks.
So, Mo, don't do that.
No, I'm being serious. You need players, okay? But not for the fact that people are injured. I know Liverpool need a long-term DM. You need a center back. You might need a forward, but this Darwin Nunez cameo today was great. But this energy from Liverpool fans, you guys are turning into Chelsea. A right back is injured. We need a right back. He's out for 3 weeks. if he's out for multiple weeks, I'm using the logic here. How long is he out for? Can someone tell me?
At maximum 3 weeks.
All right. So why do you need freaking signing for that position? For
Because-
long term, yes, but not now. So you
I still
can't
think
use
we need a
that
centre
reason,
back.
though.
What
You
about a
need a
centre back? though?
100%. You need a center
Yeah.
back. I am not arguing that. But this has been going from the beginning of the season. It has nothing to do with Trent or Salah being out. Because I'm hearing more, we need to sign players because of the injuries now. I'm like, no, you needed to sign players last summer. You needed a center back last summer. You didn't need a center back because of now, because Gomez isn't the one who's you can rely on. However, let me just tell you guys one thing, and I'm gonna get your opinion on this. If Robertson comes back, now you have 4 first-team center backs: Kwanzaa, Konate, Van Dijk, Gomez. Why do you need another center back?
Because Gomez has now become our backup fullback now. Because I don't think I think the kind of qualities that this guy has. I'm talking because I have a conversation with JJ about Gomez and his capabilities and his qualities, pace, power, and driving with the ball. Because the one thing he's good at is driving with the ball, because no one can get the ball off him. Once he gets going, it's very, very difficult to get the ball off him. And the one thing that he's good at is he allows
the
us
danger with him. The danger with him is not so much him knowing get the ball off him; it's just him passing the ball to the bloody opposition, like he did against Arsenal the other day. Like, I've been on the Gomez train for a long time. I'm now off the Gomez train. I'm not a believer anymore.
I think he's a great utility defender, but concentration as a centre back, you need to stay concentrated throughout the entire 90, and I just don't trust him to do that on a regular basis, in my opinion.
So you guys, go ahead. No. I think Jose, who's gonna talk?
Me. The only thing I'm going to say is that Konate is bound to get injured at some point during this season. If he doesn't, then you know what? He's gonna defy history, and fair play to the man. But as history goes, he's going to get hurt at some point. Matip is already out, and to be honest with you, 4 isn't enough for me. If I'm trying to push in all competitions, if I'm going to take the FA Cup serious, the Carabao Cup, the Europa League, and the Premier League serious, 4 center backs is not enough. I need a little bit more rotation. Otherwise, it's going to be too much of tired legs come May, and it's the end of the season, and we need that extra push.
Let's not forget, Gomez is injury prone himself.
Yes, 100%. The whole team is. Our whole physio team is designed to injure our players, right? Because we every year we have the most injuries, bar none. But we need a center back and we need a forward. I think that, you know, if you look at it objectively speaking,
You need what?
A forward.
You have Jota and Nunez.
Just in my opinion, I feel like we need a forward more than we need a midfield.
Why? Explain why.
Because to me, the depth in midfield, it far outweighs the lack of clinicalness in our front line. It's not just Darwin, it's everyone, right? Jota has not been super clinical this season. Diaz hasn't been clinical. Nunez hasn't been clinical. Mohamed Salah, Gakpo hasn't been clinical. Mohamed Salah is our clinical player. Like, I either need to see everyone start to pick up the slack, or I need to see you bring in someone else that you think can be more clinical and create something. But listen, no. This Hussam with his absolute agenda. This guy is the biggest agenda merchant, and he accuses everyone else of being an agenda merchant. But
Don't forget, he's a liar as well.
He is the holy grail of agendas. He's the holy grail of agendas. Okay,
he's a liar as well.
Listen, Mo. I'm just giving you my opinion based on what I see. If I were to be given both, I think that a forward and a center back are more important than a midfielder and a center back. But that's just my opinion. Other people could have differing. I think we need all 3, but I think we can only get 2, you know, because we have the 100 million left from the Caicedo. We spent 15 million of it. If you do the math, 115 for Caicedo, 15 for Endo, it's 100 left. So if we have 100, we have enough for 2 players.
Yeah, welcome the people that joined from Staffy TV, of course. Welcome everybody. Guys, get us to 100 likes. Over 200 people here. We're not even on 100 likes. Hold on. But I'm really because people in the chat say that I'm acting ignorant. Giuseppe, what's Liverpool's biggest strength?
I'd say, what's their biggest strength?
Yeah, all season, what have we said about Liverpool? Where do they have depth? Which area on the pitch would they have a lot of depth?
Attack, 100%, mate.
And then comes a Liverpool fan, sit on the show and say, "Oh, we need a forward." I'm like, what? Unless
I'm not wrong.
Unless you're gonna say Okay, so the only way I'm understanding this, the ones you have aren't good enough.
It's pretty much what I just said. They have not been good enough so far. And the numbers prove it. Like it's that simple. The numbers prove everything I'm saying. If our players were clinical enough, we would be winning every game 4-0, or we'd be winning every game 4-2, or we would be
How much do
scoring
you pay
4
him,
goals a
Brad?
game.
How much
But
do you pay?
I think for you guys to get an attacker in January, it's not really. There's no point, because if you want to get a striker, for example, you need to wait till the summer, because you need a superstar. If you're going to sign someone, you can't just sign no mediocre guy. You got to sign a Osherman, someone of that level, which you probably won't get in January. So you got
That's
to
the
probably
end
go-
of Darwin Nunes' career then.
Killy.
No, he's a left winger. He's not even a striker. So Darwin's fine. He's a left winger. He's okay.
The left winger, bro.
He is a left
Bro,
winger, bro.
There is one pass in this game that defines Darwin Nunes. So he made that great play for the second goal. That pass he passed to Curtis Jones at the end defines what Darwin Nunes is. It was the longest pass I've seen in my life that went to a goal kick. Curtis Jones didn't even look at him, bro. Curtis Jones, because if you looked at him, he would have slapped him. Because that's not a professional footballer's pass. You cannot pass the ball with that way. But anyway, he played well. The header, phenomenal. A top striker header, generating the power out of nowhere was great. The pass he did to Gakpo was great. I'm praising him when he plays well. Off the bench, to be honest, he absolutely was very, very good. The problem is he hasn't scored in like 13 games?
No, he scored against Burnley.
Time. Oh no, he did. He did score against Burnley. He scored against Burnley.
Get that agenda out of here.
I just had to wheel out this stat on the terrace, right? So we were going out on Spaces the other day, and we were just talking about Nunez and how he's performed. So non-penalty expected goals versus actual goals. Darwin Nunez, he's not in the top 100 strikers.
In
He's
the
not
world.
in the top 200 strikers. No, in the Premier League. So not even strikers. Not in the top 100 players. He's not in the top 200 players. He's not in the top 300 players. He's not in the top 400 players. He's not in the top 500 players. He's 510th out of 511 players. The only player that's below him is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Okay?
Which is,
that actually hurts. That actually hurts.
But he has our most assists on the team. So
yeah. But it's just, but the point of this is that I don't think we bought him to be Darwin Nunez, our top playmaker. We bought him for the purpose, and maybe not the sole purpose, but 75% goals, 25% other stuff, or something like that. You know, some kind of ratio that's equally. You know, it was heavily weighted in the fact that he was going to become goals. He was going to score goals, and we all want it to work for him. But
we did.
like, as a goal scorer,
we didn't. No one.
we don't have a better option, though. We don't have a better option right now.
I think some Liverpool fans wanted him sold.
And today's performance was good. It was a good. He came off the bench and he did well. So it's not an agenda. I've said we'll give him to the end of this season. I think then let's see what happens. I think he'll probably get another season after this. I think realistically that's probably what will happen. But to date, he's been underwhelming for me. That's what I'm saying.
Mo, you just said something really good right here. I think this is why he's very frustrating. Because if you look at this game in general, the header was a great header. The assist was a great assist. And he has the capabilities of doing stuff like that. The finish at Burnley, cold finish. A very, very good finish.
And actually, the one that Leno saved today, that was a fantastic run and a fantastic connection with the ball. The one
it's just great.
Fantastic, actually.
A great save by Leno, in my opinion. Like,
there you go,
Alisson, people will be raving. Everyone will be raving about it. But he just doesn't do it consistently. And he has those abilities and capabilities of doing stuff like that, but he just doesn't do it regularly. And at times, it has cost us this season. Luton, for example. Like it did. It cost us. With a team, we're playing against Man City, and people seem to forget Man City, our team, they're just relentless. They will not back down. They will.
But they miss chances as well. But they create more to score more. Let me do this super chat. Michael Ramsey, Liverpool conceded first every time Nunez doesn't start. Mo, why do you have 2 Liverpool fans on the show? We have 3. Liverpool just played today, so I don't know what you're talking about. We have 3. Hussam is asking, Nunez or Jackson? Honest question.
Ingenuous man. This disingenuous merchant. This agenda merchant. It's absolutely ridiculous because I'm just going to bring up the very simple argument, Hussam. When we don't play Darwin, and Darwin is not in the front 3, and Mohamed Salah is there. Okay, if we don't play Darwin and Mohamed Salah is not there because right now we don't have Mo, tell me where is a single goal going to come from? Because we haven't scored any without Mo there, without Darwin in there, and we didn't even look threatening in the first half. But there wasn't even the possibility of a goal in the first half. A goal in the first half would have been a bigger miracle than anything else this season. And the second Darwin and Gakpo come on, all of a sudden we dominate the rest of the game and we're looking threatening. So, like, my only argument is going to be with what we have right now. My question to anyone who hates Darwin Nunez is, what is the better option? And can you please provide statistical?
No, we're not
on that,
bro. Again, this question, Mike, is not, bro. It's not my job. We are here to talk about what we see on the pitch. Bro, there's some people that paid hundreds of thousands that their job is to go around the games and go around Europe to look. It's not your job. It's not my job. There's no one here. That's not our job.
No, but Mo, that just question is just like you're just measuring cow turd with horse turd. They both stink. Like, they both stink.
No,
like, what is the actual point?
Clear. Nunez is
it's still like, you know, it's a pointless argument, a pointless comment, a waste of a couple of characters from Hussam. Oh yeah, by the way, Mo,
what I will say though is that the thing with the numbers that I just gave, Marcus Rashford, who's been heavily criticised for having a poor season, is like 498th or something like that in that list. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was slightly behind him. Nicholas Jackson is 490th or something. So they're all of these players are in and around that have been heavily criticised by members of their own fan bases, which is not the end of the world. But you know, I'm just saying.
Can I say something?
I don't know if it's.
I forget the stats because if I can say the stat, Jackson has 7 goals, Darwin has 5. But I'm not doing that. Jackson misses a lot of football, right? But to be honest, I want everyone in the chat. There's over 300 people here. Just type one word: Jackson or J or N. Let's just see how easy it is. J or N in the chat. It's a J or an N.
They'll type in J, man. They'll type in J just for
sake. Some agenda on every channel criticizing Nunez. He had 3 shots on target. Quran, you were not here when I praised Jackson. On footy judgment, that doesn't happen often. But just to let you know, I don't have an agenda. Sorry, Nunez, because I normally don't criticize him. He had 3 shots on target, 2 assists. What about Diaz, Gakpo, and Jota? By the way, Mo have more goals than them. Crazy. Yes. Thank you. But Darwin Nunez played well today. But can he keep it consistent? I don't know. Every time I'm watching this guy, don't know. Actually, Giuseppe, what are your thoughts? You're an Arsenal fan. If you're asked, Arsenal are in need for a striker now, which one would you take?
I don't think it's an easy choice, you know. Like these, like people saying just disregarding Jackson. Like I think Jackson. If you're looking at who I think will succeed more in the Premier League, I think it will end up being Jackson.
Oh my god!
No. I think, bro. Listen, I don't rate Nunez, bro. I don't rate Nunez at all.
Jackson,
bro.
though,
like, he's 22 years old. You never know what's gonna happen, bro. He's still a bit raw. You don't know. Like he might get a bit better.
24.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. But Nunez, it's just with Nunez, right? It's the things that I see him do that I'm just like, he just can't do this stuff. Like, and if he can't do this stuff at 24 years old, he's never going to be able to do this stuff. And it's just simple stuff. Like, I'll be honest, he's fast. If he weren't, I'm telling you now, if Darwin Nunez went as fast as he is, it'd be complete and utter trash. Yeah. I generally believe
that finished at Gakpo. Okay. It was a great cross by Nunez, but that finish that Gakpo did to slide into the near post, I don't think Nunez scores that goal.
Never.
I think Gakpo is a better finisher than Nunez,
which is why he's a winger. Which is why Nunez is a winger.
Bro,
Listen,
he's not
maybe
a
as a
winger.
winger,
I
he
don't
is a-
know, Mike. What are you talking about, Mike? Like, what is
He's
this?
a forward. He's a forward. He's a forward. He's a forward.
Nunez,
What is it?
no,
Nunez is a winger.
seriously. Like
I
Nunez
think
plays
what you're
better on
doing
the
now,
wing.
Mike. I think what you're doing now, Mike. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, Mike. He might
ahead.
play well on the wing in spaces. Liverpool club against 90% of the teams you're gonna play, they're gonna be deep, low blocks. Nunez isn't good at that. Mike. I know what you're talking about. You're like, oh my God, Nunez is great on the wing. Yes, against teams that will leave up like a lot of spaces for him, which is obvious. I actually think Nunez today showed us that he can absolutely be good. He can be good. Like Nunez today can be very, very well, in my opinion. But in the same time, all I want to say is if he does this, what he did today, and I'm being honest because people think I have an agenda, 5-6 games in a row, I think we'll actually have a player in our hands. If he can do this, but he doesn't.
But
He
you can
would
say
get
that
an
about any
assist.
player, though. You can say that about any player.
No.
You can see a load of players. You can see so
No,
many
but-
players have like these odd good games, but the
But that's
whole
why I'm
the
saying it.
No,
an
but
if.
just-
consistency.
But that's what I'm
Giuseppe,
saying.
Giuseppe,
But I'm
you're-
saying
you're-
an if because I doubt that he will do that.
No, but
That's
the
problem.
thing is, Mo, I'll stress this again. We've seen this. He's shown capabilities of being a decent and a good finisher, but he just doesn't do it consistently. And that's what really makes me annoyed about him. Because whenever he does do these stupid shots straight at the goalkeeper, I'm like, bro, you tucked it away into the corners of the goals. Like, what are you doing, man? Come on. Like,
Bro,
you're
do you-
better
you
than
know-
this.
Bro, you know, as an Arsenal fan, yeah, honestly, you know how many players I've watched, yeah, in my life. I'm 27. You know how many players I've watched for Arsenal Football Club that I'm like, they've got something. Like, if they can keep doing this, if they can get, and they just don't. There's certain guys that they just don't. They can do. You
Right.
watch it in certain games, yeah, you can watch it in certain games, and you can say, oh man, if he keeps up this all season, man, he can be a real player. And then what happens? They just don't do it. They just continuously will go in and out of games. You can't be a top player at a top team if you do that. I'll be honest. That Nunez, listen, you got to give him a bit more time. I'm not here saying that you guys should sell him or something, but if you got an offer for him for what you paid for him, you're taking that. You're taking that 100%. If tomorrow an offer come in for what
Klopp
you paid
isn't.
for him, you're not taking. But are you taking
Klopp,
it, bro?
Klopp is not. So
He's
why
taking
would
it,
I?
what,
No,
80,
no, he's
almost
not.
80 million. Almost 80 million. He's taking
I'm
that.
just saying,
He's
killy,
taking
killy. As soon as if I see that money, killy.
Listen. Yes. I would, but I don't think Klopp is, which is why I think a lot of these Nunez arguments are kind of just like falling on deaf ears because I think that Klopp sees him as a part of his future plans. I think that that's why he's testing him out in all these different ways. And I think that the most important thing here is that I keep trying to reiterate this. There is no other option. There's no other option at this team. Like it's not like Diogo Jota has not proven anything. He cannot stay on the pitch. Luis Diaz has had one good performance the entire season, and Mohamed Salah is gone. And we're not Mo Salah FC. So you can't provide me a current alternative, and you can't say that we're Mo Salah FC. So what is the point of continuing this conversation? He has to continue to play because I have no other option. And Gakpo plays his best when Darwin is to the left of him. It's just
you
that simple.
accused me of having an agenda, so now your defensive mechanism,
Hussam has an
your
agenda.
defensive mechanism is saying that there is no point of us talking because Klopp is gonna have him on the team.
No, whoa, hold on.
And
I
instead
never
of
said
you
that.
defending
you're putting
your
words in my
player,
mouth.
you are guilty. And
I just did defend my player. I'm just also stating facts. Like Klopp is not going to sell him, and Klopp is not going to bench him. Like it's that simple.
I don't know.
I
don't know about that. I don't know.
To be honest with you, I don't think Liverpool Football Club as a club, they are not like other clubs. You're not going to take the hit. I think Jurgen Klopp is going to first exhaust all the solutions with Darwin Nunez. He's going to give him... Rack is the one that is here said it exactly. He might get another season after this, and then we'll see from there. You've done this with too many players. You give them a season, a second, maybe a third. I think that's what's going to happen. Listen, I said that Darwin Nunez doesn't have what Giuseppe just said is the basic... When you have a kid and the kid reaches 20 years old, you need him to have the basic stuff. However, Erling Haaland isn't the best on the ball, right? We have to know that he isn't the best, but he has other attributes that he excels at. I think positioning, I think finishing. I think his finishing is very good as well. I think Darwin Núñez just need a club different than Liverpool. The reason why I'm saying that the way Liverpool play football is all about everybody having good football ability. There is nobody that is being served. Even at the high of Mohamed Salah, still Firmino had to be very good. Mohamed Salah himself had to be a very good football player. That Sadio Mane, when you had before Fernando Torres, when you had Luis Suarez, always Liverpool, for some reason, when you thrive, when you're forward, when your striker is a footballer. When I say a footballer, a five-a-side footballer, someone that you will enjoy watching play football. You would want the ball to be at this guy's feet. And at the moment, not a lot of people will sit and say that Darwin Núñez is someone that I go to games and I open Liverpool on TV and I want the ball to be at Darwin Núñez's feet. You don't do that. Nobody does this. And that's the whole point. Liverpool's whole club era was built on a very, very good footballing front three. Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, and Firmino. Now he doesn't want to change the system, but he wants to play someone like Darwin Núñez. You will have to serve him like what Pep Guardiola did. Pep Guardiola changed the whole thing to serve one player. Someone sit here and tell me, are you changing the system to serve that player? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it.
There's only one player that I'll change the entire system for, and that's for Trent Alexander-Arnold. No one else.
But again, he's a fullback. I'm saying that for a forward, you change the way you approach the goal. That's Man City literally changed the way they approach the goal. They approach the net by serving Erling Haaland. You're not going to do this with Nunez. And Jurgen Klopp doesn't look. He wants Nunez embedded in the system, not the other way around. He doesn't want to serve Nunez.
No, but one thing that this system is so good at is that not only does the wingers get their opportunities, the strikers do get opportunities themselves. Because Jota in 21-22 was getting a bag full of goals. I think he got about 16 goals in the Premier League that season. So when you're talking about Pep had to change his entire system because everyone else was chipping in with goals. We're talking midfielders, we're talking wingers, even strikers on some points didn't get the same amount of goals as like what Haaland does, but they still chipped in with a couple of goals. Now it's more like everything's going to Haaland. Give it to Haaland. Haaland will put it in the back of the net. We kind of do that sort of style of play, but it's more like give it to the front three and get them in front of goal, and the front three will score. And Nunez has been getting them chances because we have creators in our team that can create chances for him. It's just whether it's up to him or whether he has the capability of putting the ball into the back of the net. And that still remains to be seen, in my opinion.
I want to do super chats, and then I want to move to the miss of Trent, because I was watching the game today and I'm like, this is a massive miss.
Mo,
this is
I got ahead off, yeah.
No
I appreciate
worries.
you having me on my team.
No worries. No worries.
mate.
Thank you so much for joining.
Appreciate it. Big up,
Thank
everyone.
you so
Big
much
up the
for
chat.
joining. Appreciate it, man. So before we go to the talk about Nunez, let me do this. My problem with Nunez is decision making is poor. That's very apparent, and everybody can do that. Mike, is everybody gonna criticize Nunez now? You're gonna do this? You don't like it? So is he the best player in the world?
No, but he just said his decision making is poor, and yet he had.
Is he
had
great?
2 assists today. I mean, he has the most assists for Liverpool. I'm not gonna. He's not.
Okay,
He's not
so
fantastic.
because of today, so you think decision making for him is good?
When it's not world class, but it's not poor.
All
Poor-
right.
poor is-
This is
poor is a
Omar
very
Rushdie.
strong
Thank you for
verb.
the super chat, Omar. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Sorry.
Karen here is coming. Gooners always high on something. One of them only add 2 Real Madrid players in AFC combined 11. Team of the season gonna finish.
Don't put that on
Tottenham
me.
gonna finish above
Honestly,
them. I bet.
Igal has ruined it for half the Gooners out there.
Yes,
Because
he did.
you
he
He
know
put
what?
out there,
absolutely
they're
did.
catching strays because of his combined 11, man.
I
That's
don't
not
think
fair.
he was being serious. He couldn't have been being serious. It was
I think he
obviously
was.
trolling.
No. Hold on.
Igal knows exactly what he's doing. Igal knows exactly what he's doing.
Well, let me tell you, it's not only about that. A lot of Arsenal people sat here, right, on this channel and told me that we are third favorites to win the Champions League. And when I asked why, they said because we have arguably the third best team in the world at the moment. When I tell them that it's not only about having your best player around or something, it's about experience. It's about calmness in the Champions League. But anyway, I want to talk about Trent Alexander. I'm going to get Raki's opinion about this. Did you see today that you might need to change the system you play because Trent is not there? That's what I would notice today. Ball is slow, or you didn't notice it at all.
I haven't really thought about it. Look, I think undoubtedly if you take Trent out, and I don't know, Szoboszlai hasn't necessarily been the most creative since he's come in, because he's had a bit more of a workman-like his instructions. You know, he's not maybe not expressing his creativity as much as he could. But with Szoboszlai not being able to do that, basically a lot of the onus is going to fall on McAllister, and whether McAllister is ready to shoulder that responsibility solely, especially after being out for a few weeks, is a little bit worrying. Don't get me wrong. And then on the flip side, if we're not taking chances at as high a rate without Salah, then again that's slightly worrying. But I'm going to try and be positive. Hopefully Trent's back relatively soon. Although when people talk about, as soon as people start mentioning the words knee injury or knee ligaments, I'm like, knee ligaments, that doesn't sound like it's going to be, you know, a quick recovery. I may be wrong, and maybe it was just, you know, precautionary or a bit of a strain rather than any kind of like tear or whatever. But it just doesn't fill me with much confidence. But yeah, look, if we can get Trent back quick, and if we can get Mo back quick, then I don't think obviously it's not so much of an issue. But if you're missing Trent long term, then it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, 100%. Giuseppe, what you're going against this team for the title, or you're going against Spurs for top 4, but on paper you're going against Liverpool for the title. Do you think you can go against them? And how big of a miss is Trent? And do you think Trent is an X factor for this Liverpool team, that something that you don't have at Arsenal?
You know, honestly, like right now, it's really hard with the Arsenal stuff. I've got these glasses on because I don't want the opposition and the rivals to be seeing the pain in my eyes right now, because there's a lot of pain going on. But yeah, Liverpool are going strong. You know, I said to my mate today, I was like, if Liverpool get through this period without Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold, I generally do believe that Liverpool could even win everything that they're currently in. Like, I generally do. Like, they seem to have something this season that just seems to be that bit of rubber the green, grit. They've got all them sort of things, and they've got the experience, which we didn't have last year. Like, you know, I think if Liverpool were where we were last year, Liverpool win the league last year. Just having people like Mohamed Salah and stuff. But Trent in the team this year, he's been like revitalized. It's like, I almost said to my mate, it's like he cut them. That hair was like a curse of his or something. Yeah, he cut that hair off. He's gone back to his short young boy look, and he seems to be awoken again. And he's playing unbelievable. I think he was one of the key factors they got anything out. They beat us in the FA Cup. I think without him, it would have been a bit. I don't know if they would have done it without him. Yeah, I think he's been probably their. Apart from Salah and Van Dijk, maybe he's top 3 of their players this season, definitely. And I think with them missing, like, needing midfielders, he's sort of like filled that gap for them. Like, that's why they need a midfielder badly, because if he does get injured, you see how like the creativeness is gone from their team. So I think they need that midfielder. I think obviously I don't watch tons and tons of Liverpool to be able to say that's the problem.
You know, this is very strange to me, right? Because I watch all the teams, and just people tell me, how about that? We don't watch a lot of City, we don't watch a lot of Liverpool, or we don't watch a lot of Arsenal. Like, so how come I watch all the games? Like, why? What do you have in your hand that is better than watching the Premier League? Can you just?
The thing is with like, when I say I don't watch Liverpool,
it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about people.
I think
fans, like, not you. Like,
yeah.
If you are like, how are you going for the league? Like, you know what? Like, Liverpool fans, like City fans, used to watch Liverpool every game. That's what I'm like. I really like. You don't watch Liverpool, but you're going against them in the title.
The thing is with a lot of football fans like me, I always have it on, but it'll be in the background while I'm doing work or I'm doing something. So I'm not watching the game like that. So when I say I don't watch the game, I can't when I've watched the game, I'm watching it briefly on the side. That's not for me. That's not watching football. When I watch, that's why I don't like going pub to watch Arsenal or anything like that. I like watching them at home, because when you got to watch football, for me, you got to watch football. No phone. Like, I try not to do the phone thing. I try and put my phone away so I can concentrate, because so many times you listen to like certain fans and they'll say stuff like, this player did nothing this game. This player did nothing this game. And you're like, if you watch the game, you saw that he done the dog work. You saw he done this and that. So I think a lot of fans are just like fans of a team. There's a difference between being a football fan and being a fan of a team, right? So there's people that love the football aspect of like, yeah, watching football, bit of banter and that. So they follow their team and that's all they do. They won't watch other football. You've got a lot of sorry, I hit my mic thing.
All right.
But yeah, so in England, especially, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people, like, when you're at school, it's cool to like if you don't like football, when you're at school here, if you don't like football, you're a bit like, what the hell? You're a boy, you don't like football? That's how it is here. So from young, everyone picks a team and they sort of have that and they follow it. So they're not really football fans. They're more of a Arsenal fan or a Liverpool fan rather than a football fan. So they don't watch a lot of other football, because some of them like, well, I will never miss a game. My girlfriend me go back and forth because she's like, it's only a football game. I'm like, it's more than a football game, yeah. So yeah, like there's a lot of people that just they don't really care for other teams. They just watch their own team, or they watch it as and when, and they just like to give the banter and stuff. To answer that.
So Trent, Mike, you should. I thought you said you should go and sign a right back, because Trent is out for 3 weeks.
No, whoa! You're putting words in my mouth. Listen, I think that I might be one of the few people that actually think that today, defensively, the right side was actually a positive. I thought that Connor Bradley was fantastic in his position. I know that Ram came in and he said something about being poor offensively in the first half. I don't think that it was his fault. He was getting no help on the right side. The midfield literally had bricks for feet. None of them were moving. No one was moving off the ball. Everything was stagnant. It was complacent. And then in the second half, when Gakpo and Nunez come on, all of a sudden there's space freed up because you have people making runs, and Connor Bradley can now run into space. I think that if anything, I've always been a person that says that Trent is a midfielder. That's the hill that I will die on. I don't care. I don't like this. I don't like this inverted right back stuff. I'll always go back to this. Right after we lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League final, I went on the Liverpool FC Reddit and I made a whole post about how Trent is a midfielder. And I got 500 downvotes. That's probably the worst post I've ever made. 3 years later, everyone is saying that Trent is a midfielder. So not for nothing, but I do kind of know everything. And Trent is a midfielder. And like, honestly, even against even in the Arsenal game, Trent was kind of playing that like deep lying playmaker position, and we've seen him over and over. It's like when he inverts, in reality, he's just a really deep six. You know what I mean? And I think that if we were to get a defensive right back in and go away from the inverted right back and let Trent thrive in a deep lying playmaker position, that could completely change our team, and it could completely change the dynamic of our midfield. And yes, Dan Carlito, I was not overreacting at halftime, talking about the hyperboles. I was just, everything I said at halftime was true, and then Klopp came in, made adjustments, and the team ended up winning. And I also said at halftime that Klopp is going to make the adjustments and will win. But I think that Trent's a midfielder, and Connor Bradley was excellent today, and he was fantastic when he came on against Arsenal, and he still has Gabriel Martinelli in his pocket, and now he has whoever was playing on the left side for Fulham in his pocket as well.
Do you think though, like, if you take that, like, you know how Trent's inverts from the right, so when you invert, like, see it with Zinchenko, they get a lot more time on the ball. Like, I feel like when they invert, they get a lot more time to do them long balls like what Trent likes to do. Do you think that might get nullified a bit more if he actually is playing in the midfield? Do you think that like teams will adapt the system and sort of shut that down?
I mean, it's a possibility, but at the same time, personally, I think that first off, Trent's 50-50 numbers are fantastic. Like, his dual numbers are great, and his recovery numbers are the best in the league. Like, he has 131 recoveries compared to, I think the next person has 114, and I think that it's Kieran Trippier. That was completely ripped off of Twitter. And I think that Trent is also great in defensive transition. He's not good when he has to play at the back line and he gets caught out. So I think that if you give him more space in the midfield, he'll counteract it because he's great on the ball. He can make things happen. He can dribble. And I think everything will kind of get
Here is
counterbalanced.
let me just do this couple super chats. Ozan Kabak is saying crypto conference got in the way for me and Rack. Oh, thank you, Ozan Kabak.
Why am I always linked to crypto conferences? I was into crypto like about 5 years ago, but anyway.
Ahmed Salaman, big up for being a member for 2 months. Thank you, Ahmed, for all the support you provide. Listen, this is Mike when he talks about like.
What's the secret to your confidence?
Delusion. I have no concept of reality whatsoever, and in my alternate reality where I live, I'm a guy that knows everything. So it may not be right, but it does give me superhuman confidence.
But I end up being right all the time. So I'm gonna have to say, you know what? It's better to believe you're right than to not believe you're right.
And the problem with Trent, and it's not a criticism, but it just is something that I noticed. The problem with Trent is that to play in the midfield, you'll have to have some defensive capabilities in terms of like stopping the transition, being able to run, being able positionally to position yourself very well, right? But he's very good offensively. So you'll need to build a midfield around him for it to work. This is what I think. Like you can't have a McAllister who is very slow in recovery and Trent who is very slow in recovery and play a number 10. And then you ask teams to not hit you on the transition. You're really just asking for it. Unless you have a back three. Which is, I said, Liverpool need to play. To accommodate Trent Alexander-Arnold, you need a back three. You need a very strong back three that will be able to recover, right? And you might need a midfielder that will be able to help them with that, which is the same way that Man City play. This is just my opinion, because I see it working. If you get a left-sided center back, I see it working with Van Dijk and Konate and a left-sided center back. I actually see it working with Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, and Konate at the moment. Fully invert Trent in the midfield. Have a good midfielder next to him and let everybody attack, because these three guys, along with the DM, can stop the transition. That's what I think. But I might be wrong.
But then if you're going to do that, you need to have someone who's good enough on the ball that they can push into midfield. Because if you're only going to sit with three centre-backs back, you miss someone in attack. Because you need someone in midfield. That is why
you need a left-sided centre-back.
Someone who can play like a John Stones, who can move into central midfield and make up a position in midfield and not just stay back. Because otherwise, if you have three players back alone, you're going to lose out.
That's why Man City play Ake on the left, or they play Gavardiol on the left. The likes of these guys who are very good on the ball can drive and can be an auxiliary left back. Is that like someone who can drive? You don't play three center backs that are just, but because you don't have that right at your club. So that's what I'm saying. Because the trend, to be honest, it's working at the moment until Robertson comes back, and now you will have both sides to cover. The problem with Trent inverting is that defensively, he doesn't recover very well. Listen, people want to say what they want to say. It's not an agenda. He is not a terrible defender. He is not Mohamed Salah defensive, right? He isn't Diaz defensively, but he isn't great. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a 70-30 player in favor of offense, and everybody just sees that. Some Liverpool fans, like Hossam, for example, he's great defensively. He isn't great. He isn't.
Numbers wise, he's actually
bro,
not that
did you
bad.
see? Okay, bro. See that? Did you see when Martinelli came on? How easy is it to dribble Trent when you're 1-on-1 with him?
He was hurt.
This is just as simple, bro. That happens majority of the time. Trent 1-on-1 isn't, because the guy is so talented offensively. He is a game changer offensively. The way he whips the ball, the way he passes the ball. He isn't just blessed with defensive abilities. There are a lot of center backs around. Marcelo is the same, for example. He isn't blessed defensively. Kyle Walker is the opposite completely. Kyle Walker is blessed with space, strength. It's just the way he is. Zinchenko, absolutely abysmal defensively, but he can be in the midfield. Just people don't want to admit that, and people say it's an agenda. Well, we all see it. Just some Liverpool fans just don't see it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
You know what you say about the stats as well? The best centre-back, the best defender ever said that if he has to make a tackle, then he's already made a mistake. Yeah. So when you say about but it's recoveries are really, but he shouldn't even be allowing that all the time. Like when you actually do the eye test, forget stats with a like defender. Stats help, yeah, cool. With the eye test, it's easy to go past him unless he's having a great game. He has his odd game where he has a really good game. The winger's not playing. If a winger's on fire against him, they're ruining him for the game. I'll be honest.
Doku didn't. Doku was on that.
Game. Listen, he has the odd game, but you also see him get like when, as you say, he was hurt. I don't know when Martinelli come on, but he was getting ripped. You brought on that youngster, he weren't getting ripped as much. That youngster's probably better defensively than Trent.
Connor Bradley, Connor Bradley is better defensively. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the issue is that look, Trent. No player is perfect. And no player is going to be perfect. Yeah.
Give me a second. When Mike sits here as a Liverpool fan and tells me that I'm not, how old is this guy, Bradley? 19, 20 years old.
He's not the answer.
But he hasn't played a lot of first team football. When you as a Liverpool fan telling me that now after Trent's 300 games or 250 games, that Bradley is better defensively, that's a testament to what we're saying. It's just as simple as that.
No. What it suggests is that different players have different qualities.
Fantastic.
And and the way that you deploy a player and the tactics within and the way that a manager puts the players and tactics together will partly define whether a player's good or not. Look, Trent may not be the best defensively, but if you're a front-footed, attacking, possession-dominant team, then do you want to concentrate the 70% of the time when you have the ball? Do you want to concentrate on that? Or do you want to concentrate on the 30% of the time?
No, I want to concentrate on going forward, of course. 100%.
Okay, so you want to... So, therefore, it makes more sense to have more players who are better in an attacking sense. And if they have their defensive deficiencies, you can understand, because there's always a trade-off. If Trent was amazing defensively, but didn't give us anything in attack, would anybody be happy?
No.
Would we say, okay, brilliant, we got a great back, best right back in the league? Because we want to be progressive, we want to attack, and we want to dominate the ball. Trent is best suited to that. He's not best suited to being in a low block one-on-one against a tricky winger. Absolutely. But there's always these trade-offs, and all we need to do and try and do is help him improve defensively without mitigating, without negating or diminishing his contribution in attack. And if possible, enhancing his attack.
I actually think what you said is great until you said we need to help him defensively. I actually think you need to improve his offensive ability and have a system to cover him defensively so you don't have to worry about it, which is a lot of clubs do that with their creative players. Tons of clubs do that. Vinicius Jr., Real Madrid, they do the system so he doesn't have to defend. A lot of teams did that. Ronaldinho, I think they used to create that. If you hold Trent to that level, that's what you need to do.
If you're in the then you have to move him out of the back line, and you can do that, but that's also partly the system that's made us so successful in the last 6-7 years. We've been right up there, one of the best teams in the world. So, but maybe you could also argue on the flip side that bringing in a player like Darwin Nunez is not like a Bobby Firmino. Maybe we already are changing the system.
But I think people misunderstand what I say all the time. When I say that Trent isn't good defensively, I'm not criticizing him. I'm actually criticizing the system that had me sitting here criticizing his defensive ability. This should not be exploited at all.
Yes.
For a player that is that good, we shouldn't be sitting after any game saying that he was dribbled. He shouldn't be put in that situation. He shouldn't, which is the same thing that I have when I speak about Arsenal and Zinchenko. Zinchenko is known to not be a great defender, but why is he put in a place where he has to go one-on-one with Mohamed Salah? That's a joke. And people say, yeah, it's on Zinchenko. The guy isn't blessed with defensive ability. That's what I mean. People think that when I talk about Trent, I'm criticizing his defensive abilities. No, I'm criticizing the system that put him in that place. Even if you're gonna play him as an inverted, right? That can happen, and you can have someone cover for him. Konate has been doing this lately, by the way, and Endo has been doing this lately, which why we have been sitting here and saying defend isn't Trent defending in isolation. Trent is defending in a system. That's what people need to understand. Like some games I sit here and say, yeah, Trent looked all right. The system helped him. Like he didn't have to go full on defensively. That's what I think Andrew Wright here is saying. But why do we not have the same energy when Ben White? The fact that you're comparing Ben White to Trent is actually an insult to Trent.
Criminal.
Walker and James, when they make mistakes, I don't actually, when Walker makes mistakes, we do the same. When they make mistakes, I don't see the same Walker walking, sleeping a lot over there. I'm actually not on the bandwagon of Kyle Walker because I think a fullback needs to have a little bit of a balance. But Kyle Walker lately has only been playing as a center back. It's as simple as that. Like Kyle Walker has not been playing as someone who is going offensively like Trent. I think they are completely opposite, the opposite spectrum of fullbacks. One is very good offensively, one is just very good defensively. That's what I think. But I want to just now talk a little bit, like five minutes about this Liverpool quad charge.
Oof.
Right?
B-Tech
yes, it's
quad.
Europa League on B-Tech. B-Tech. We want to talk about this Liverpool B-Tech quad charge, as Giuseppe said. I want to ask Giuseppe here, why are Liverpool here in this position? Semi-final, FA Cup, whatever, fourth round, Europa League round of 16, top of their group, top of the league, but Arsenal aren't. And don't make it about Arsenal. I want to know what are the differences.
I think the difference is there's a few, right? There's the experience side of things, the players they have, the experience they have with the manager and the players. You got to put it. They've got a better manager. Let's be honest. What else? They've got the most, probably one, arguably the most clutch player in the league. I know they didn't have him, obviously, the last two cup games, still managed to get through. Obviously, they're not through yet. I don't get why this is a double-legged thing. I hate that. But yeah. So yeah, listen, why are we not there? And they are. Listen, that's it. Experience, man. Experience. They're
no,
players,
they have a new team. So you're talking about the 4 players they have.
No, but when you have I don't know, man. When you have that core experience within the team, I feel like it feeds to other players as well. Like the manager's huge. Let's be honest. He's the second best manager in the league. He's one of the best managers the Prem's seen. So that's a huge coup for them. And listen, they've got this season they've got a lot of fight and grit in them. They're obviously seeing a chance. They're smelling blood. I think this season, and I think they're capitalizing on it because they know how to like Klopp knows how to capitalize on it. They've been close before. A lot of the players in that team. The midfield's new. Listen, listen. The funny thing is, everyone laughs at Arsenal right now. Yeah, but you never know. In like a month, 6 weeks time, Liverpool could have the same sort of capitulation and get dropped out of all the competitions. And like they could lose the final, they could get knocked out of the FA Cup, they could lose a few Prem games, and then it's looking bleak. But as of now, what they've been showing me is they can win games, and I just believe like the way Van Dijk's playing this season, as long as they can keep him fit for the whole season, yeah, I think they're definitely gonna win a couple trophies. Listen, they can win the Europa League. There's not many teams in there right now that I could see beating Liverpool. The league, I do think City are going to be scary coming back now with De Bruyne. So they've got to just keep going. And listen, this cup's theirs in their hand, the Carabao Cup. No team in there should be beating them to that cup. And then the FA Cup, it is like if you go for that, you can win it. Anyone in it can win it, and you'll definitely win it. If the draw favours you as well, maybe if you get an away day at City or something, it could be curtains. But yeah, I think Liverpool have a good chance of doing something this. For me, Arsenal are done this season. Which for me, we ain't winning nothing this season. I'm just hoping that we can battle for the Prem till the rest of the end of the season, and obviously do well in the Champions League. But yeah, I think Liverpool I'm quite impressed with Liverpool this season, to be honest, because last season,
I'm very
the way
impressed.
they
to be honest.
the way they were from like last season and the way they've come this season, and I like it watching them do it because it's like we're sort of in a similar boat. Like we don't like we spend money, but we're always lacking something. Every time you watch Arsenal, every season, every time you watch Liverpool, every season, you're like, they really need that. They really need that position. They really need this position. But they're obviously, yeah, I'm impressed. They've lost one game.
By the way, they should
they
have
shouldn't
been
have lost.
unbeaten.
And they should be
Yep.
unbeaten. So it's like
We are
like,
unbeaten.
Should have been unbeaten. People, hit that like button. Over 300 still of you here after midnight. So hit that like button. Get us to 200 likes. This is just a request. The only way this channel is going to grow by hitting the like button underneath your live chat. Karan is coming back with a super chat saying Saka is the better left back than
right winger.
right winger. Oh, no, come on.
He's doing the Italian.
Come on, Karan. No, that's not. I think people are harsh. People are very harsh on Bukayo Saka. Very harsh. They have been very harsh this season on Bukayo Saka. But Mike, last thing, Liverpool this
Quad
season,
charge?
are they exceeding your expectations?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think that
Why are you angry all the time then?
because you have to be critical, right? What is what was no, absolutely not. What was Kobe Bryant's famous quote? Job's not finished. You know what I mean? Season's not over. There's improvement to be had. I want to win every competition. And if I want to win every competition and I want to beat everybody, well, then I have to have a mentality that's above everyone else. I cannot ever be complacent. I cannot ever rely on mediocrity. I have to look at every moment of every game and every spell of play and say, where can we improve? What are the patterns that we have been showing game over game over game? I think that everyone has been. I think all of us had much smaller expectations coming into the season. The transition was a lot quicker than we all possibly could have believed. But we have Jurgen and we have good players and we have some depth and we have an opportunity, right? Like we do need a few more pieces. I agree with you. We need a left center back. We need either a midfielder or a forward. Many more people will say another midfielder than another forward. I think that Endo's doing a job. And I think that a 6 is less of a worry than a forward. But ultimately, I'm more than happy with where we are this season. It's just that now I can taste victory and I want it all. And I'm not going to settle for anything less. I want to win the Europa League because I want to go and I want to win the Super Cup and I want to beat whoever won the Champions League so that I just put an extra emphasis on my Europa League, right? If I win the Europa League and then I win the Super Cup, well, then I basically just said your entire Champions League season is null and void because you couldn't even beat the Super Cup. And then, with the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, we're closer to the Carabao. I can live without the FA. Really, I care more about the Premier League than I do about the Carabao. And I agree with Giuseppe. First off, why VAR isn't a thing because Middlesbrough couldn't have it. You're the FA. You're worth billions of dollars. That's the worst excuse I've ever heard. And why is this, Mickey Mouse Cup supposedly? Why is it the only cup in England that has 2 legs for semifinal? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But if you add the few pieces, I think that we can charge for everything. And there's even an argument to be made that if you add nothing, that we can charge for everything because we're getting results. No matter how critical I am or how critical anyone else is, the team keeps winning. And so if they keep winning, what good are my words? You know what I mean? But yes, they far exceeded my expectations, and now I want the lot.
Tom, you aren't right. You set Klopp out last year. We all remember. Jurgen, mate, it's time to go. You literally said that, Tom. So stop. Anyway, listen, people, this has been absolutely a phenomenal show with the guys. Congrats to Liverpool, guys. Tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. UK time, you have to turn on the notification bell because tomorrow is LB versus Osam, one of your favorite shows, of course, in the afternoon. You have to turn on the notification bell. Can we we're 18 likes away from 200 likes. It makes a big difference to the channel, of course, hitting that like button. And thank you, everybody that was. Thank you, Rack, for being here. Congratulations, Mike. Great, Mike. Giuseppe, absolutely, guys. Give Giuseppe a subscription. Sicilian Guna in the description, people. Let's get the guys' subscriptions up. Please, guys, subscribe to his channel. It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you for everybody that watched us. Thank you for everybody that stayed with us. I appreciate you guys. Stay on the stream. Don't go anywhere because it will take you to United Spurs of America with Jacob when he tells us that Spurs are bigger than Bayern Munich and they have bigger pull than Bayern Munich. He's actually going to tell you this. Jacob is going to tell you this, that Dagosim chose the bigger club, Spurs, Tottenham Hotspurs, of course. Thank you, everybody that watched us. And we are out of here, people. Thank
Darwin
you.
in. Darwin in. Darwin in.